Dear students, our today's lecture is devoted to pedagogical communication. So let's define what is pedagogical communication. Pedagogical communication is a professional communication of the teacher with students in the classroom and outside of it, which has certain pedagogical functions, and it is aimed at creating a favorable psychological climate as well as other types of psychological optimization of educational activities and relationships between the teacher and the student.
So it becomes clear that pedagogical communication is the foundation of the educational processes. It refers to the system of interactions between teacher and students that ensures effective teaching, learning, and personal development. The goal of pedagogical communication is not only to transfer knowledge, but also to create a supportive atmosphere that motivates students to learn and express themselves freely. This diagram highlights the 4 key components that make pedagogical communication effective. At the center of the scheme is pedagogical communication, representing the dynamic and purposeful interaction between the teacher and students. It is a bridge that connects instructions, emotion, and understanding in the classroom. The first component is the interaction with students. This includes both verbal and non-verbal communication, everything from the teacher's tone of voice and gestures to their ability to listen and show empathy. Interaction helps build trust and maintain a positive emotional connection, allowing students to feel comfortable and valued. The second component is feedback exchange. Feedback is a two-way process. It allows the teacher to evaluate how well students understand the material and provides learners with information about their progress. Constructive feedback encourages reflections, corrects mistakes, and motivates students to improve. When feedback is respectful and supportive, it strengthens the teacher-student relationship. Next, we have informing. This component focuses on the transmission of knowledge and instruction. Effective informing means presenting material clearly, logically, and engagingly. The teacher should use various methods, visual aids, examples, discussions to ensure that information is understood and retained. Finally, understanding students plays a crucial role. A teacher must recognize individual differences, each student's abilities, emotions, motivation, and background. Understanding students helps adapt teaching methods and choose the right communication style to meet their needs. This empathy-based approach fosters psychological comfort and helps prevent conflicts in the classroom.
So let's consider communication rules. First one, speak your partner's language, showing respect for the partner, emphasizing its importance. The need for respect and recognition is one of the leading ones, is one of the most important. Next one is demonstration of commonality, so goals, interests, tasks, point of view. Showing interest in your partner's problem. Of course, active listening is a manifestation of interest in communication, verbalization, and perception. So, ineffective communication, vice versa, means fear, uncertainty, loss of attention, working capacity, impaired speech dynamics, reduced desire and ability to think independently, increased conformity of behavior, persistence of negative attitude of the words of the teacher. Therefore, it also reflects to the subject itself. So, in this lecture, we also consider the Pygmalion effect. If we treat a child as capable, responsible, and disciplined and let them understand this, we create the prerequisites for them to actually become such in the future. So, pedagogical communication based on the high professional attitudes of the teacher, his attitude to the pedagogical system in general. Communication based on the friendly disposition. Communication distance, communication deterrence, and communication flirting. So, reasons for ineffective interaction. Negative attitude of the teacher to himself and to surrounding. Excessive rigidity or softness in guiding students' activities. Uncertainty arising from a low level of subject competence. Inability to organize communication in the classroom. Confusion in front of the audience due to the shyness, excitement. Fear of looking something inappropriate. Personal qualities. Irritability. Self-esteem, low self-esteem, and the low sense of humor might be the reasons of ineffective interaction of the students with a teacher. So, to put effective interaction into practice, we need to solve three problems. The first one is changing the teacher's worldview, attitude to himself or herself, to the life experience, in the direction of awareness of his or her own feelings, experiences, problems, and psychological defenses. Next one is changing the teacher's attitude to student. And the third one, which is in my opinion the most complicated one, is changing the teacher's attitude to the task of pedagogical activity. So that means not only achieving didactic goals, but also developing cooperation in interaction with the students. Thank you very much for your attention.